Good morning, Tina Mitchell here, and welcome to Coffee with a Superstar. I've created this space because I'm in the mortgage industry, and obviously I work with a lot of real estate agents, some industry leaders like our guest this morning. Others are looking at taking their business to the next level, and some agents that I work with, they're just starting their career and they want to know what to do to be successful. And that's why we're here this morning with my superstar and our first super Coffee with a Superstar, Laurie.
Yeah.
Laurie, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to be welcomed into her beautiful office. So as you continue to watch every Monday for Coffee with a Superstar, I'm going to go visit their office and kind of get an idea of where they're at and get an idea of their space, and just really excited, Laurie, to have you here.
Thank you.
And a little bit about Laurie. I could have memorized this because it's not that long of her bio. She's in 23 years in the real estate in the greater Puget Sound area, assistant principal manager broker with Coldwell Bain. She's in the Lake Union office and is a Preview International property specialist. Laurie has been awarded President's Circle Award for being in the top 2% of Coldwell Bain agents internationally, and that's why she is our first superstar. She loves to work with first-time buyers as well as market luxury waterfront homes, so she does a little bit of everything.
I do. I like first-time buyers because there's such a joy in that.
Yes.
But I love water. So I'm a boater, and so anything waterfront, I absolutely love.
Yeah, and you do have a boat too. The name of your boat is
The Way Home.
The Way Home, because her name is Laurie Way.
And
so
it's right down there.
Well, of course it is, and she lives right across the street. So
I do.
This is what it looks like when you are an industry leader, work really, really hard and successful at what you do. So, Laurie, I'd just like to start out this morning with asking you, what do you contribute your success to?
Wow. Well, number one, I work really, really hard. Mm-hmm. And anybody that thinks that they can make it in this business and not work hard, I think is not going to make it. But I love it. I love first-time buy. I mean, I work 7 days a week. If you don't love what you do and you're working 7 days a week, that's not, now you don't have to work 7 days a week. I choose to because I love to, but it does take a lot of your time. There's no doubt about that. And I think I'm genuinely concerned about my clients, and I love them, and they're like our family for a little while. We all go together and go through this process, and then they're happy in their perfect little home. So yeah. And then I love waterfront because I am a boater, and because a lot of my friends are boaters, and so there's a lot of need for people who are boaters that want to buy waterfront real estate for whatever, for views or boat mortgage or something like that. But a lot of real estate agents didn't understand that. They were selling the house, where as I find out, I go out there with a stick and I put it down to see how deep the water level is at different times of the year, and is there electricity, is there water, that type of thing. So I really do enjoy working with people.
And I love that, Laurie, that you mentioned that, because I think it's so important, which I talk about a lot and I do myself, is to really embrace your uniqueness. Who are you? What are your passions? What are your likes? What are you excited about? Mm-hmm. And the fact that you are a boater, mm-hmm. you own a boat, and you're really dialing in with that luxury client, dialing in with other people that are like you, that are boaters as well, because it all is about getting connected with people that are most like you. Why? Because those are the ones that we can help the most.
And they're the ones that are going to be attracted to you the most. I mean, this is why we do a lot of sharing, especially in this office. We share a lot because there's enough business out here for all of us. Yes. And so I think that there's certain people out there that work, Marie Strong works with the historic community because that's her passion.
Marie, thank you for the business, by the way.
And there's just different people that do different things that, we have an agent that Susan Sanders, that just does Beacon Hill. Because she loves Beacon Hill. She's passionate about Beacon Hill. So I think you have to find your passion, and at least once you can afford to find your passion, because in the beginning, I have to tell you, if there's some newer agents on, you'll take any business you can. But as people will start to attract you. So I would never probably attract somebody that Marie would have, or that Susan would have. And so, but there's plenty for me.
So true.
And they feel my passion, and I feel their passion.
Yeah, so. I love that. What excellent advice, Laurie. What about if we talk about challenges? Because no matter how successful you are, no matter the experience that you have or you don't have, there's going to be challenges that come up, and there's things that you need to overcome. And I think the superstars are the ones that overcome the most, and sometimes some of the biggest things. So if you were to look back, let's say in the last 12 months for 2018, as we're wrapping up last year and getting into a new year, what was the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome, and how did you overcome that, Laurie?
So there were a couple of things. In 2018 was a wild, crazy roller coaster ride. We had multiple offers and 22 offers per, home, and then one person would get it, and then the other 21 would go to the next one, but then there'd be 5 more buyers added into that. So then you've got 26 people going after another home. It was insane crazy. And so I think the biggest frustration for me was that my buyers got really frustrated and not depressed, but just down. I can't think of the word for it. They were just, really disappointed. That would be a good word
and
for it.
Emotionally overwhelmed and tired.
When you lose 6 or 7 houses and you've already seen your family growing up there, and then you lose it, it can knock you back. And sometimes people had to go away for a little while and then lick their wounds and come back and see. Now, to get over that, you just gotta keep plugging away and letting them know that the perfect house is going to be out there, that we're going to find it. But then all of a sudden in May, I always say May 25th. I don't know why I just made that up, but sometime in May, sometime in late May, then all of a sudden everything started to calm down a little bit. I think buyers got, frustrated enough that they left. And I think the other buyers just said, forget it, time out. We're not going to pay that much money. We're not going to go $200,000 over list price. And so I think that the sanity kind of took over. And so that's calmed our market down. Now, we are still in absolutely a seller's market. There's no doubt about it. We are probably 2 months inventory, and 6 months is a balanced market. So we still are incredibly seller oriented, and we don't know what's going to happen this year. It's the 21st of January.
Yes.
Happy
Martin Luther King Day.
Oh,
by
that's
the way.
right.
I forgot to say that.
Absolutely.
This is a special day.
Nope, absolutely.
And we're working.
And we're still working. I was going to say that. This is one thing you do.
You got to work hard. That's what Laurie said.
Yep. No Mondays off. But anyway, then other people just said, that's it, time out, we're going to calm down. And so things kind of slowed down just a little bit. But now we're at January 21st. It was been very calm through the holidays, and all of a sudden, bam, at our Monday morning meetings, we've got people that have had 6 offers, people that had 9 offers. We're starting to see review periods again, which I have to tell you I'm a little disappointed about myself. But
doesn't make it easy for those buyers.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So anyway, I just think that overcoming it is just keeping them motivated, keeping them, let them know that, it will happen. I mean, it's not like they're never going to get a house.
Sure.
And I always think I've never had a client say, oh gosh, I really wish we would have gotten that last house. They've always said, thank God I didn't get that house, because I'm so happy I got this house. This was the house that was waiting for us. So
isn't that so interesting how that happens?
Yeah,
I want to go back to the review period really quickly, because you work obviously as a buyer's agent and a seller's agent. You work both sides.
I do. About 50-50.
About 50-50. So when you say the review period, when you're representing the seller, do you use a review period or no?
I haven't for the last probably 4 or 5 months. But
Okay,
I did every single listing before that.
You did?
1 week.
So it's the buyer's hat where the review period is causes the challenge. Okay, perfect. And it's interesting. The reason I asked that question is because I've never seen anything where you have industry leaders in a space to where there are certain things that they are completely opposite in what they do, and they're all in one direction. And not to go on a whole different subject here, but pre-inspection would be one of them, where you have some agents that are 100% in and some that are 100% out. So it's interesting for me in the mortgage space behind the scenes to go, I wonder what that is. But anyways, that's not the case here.
And why did they do that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Laurie, I know that any of our agents that are listening, and if you're listening today and you're not a real estate agent, to be successful in what Laurie is sharing with us this morning, is not just in real estate. It's the core to be successful in anything. So tune in whether or not. But I really created this space for real estate professionals because you want to hear from the best of the best in what you're doing every single day. So I know that the most common question or the most popular question that I'm going to be asking moving forward every single Monday is if you could share one marketing tip, your best and most favorite secretive marketing tip, what would that be, Laurie?
Well, boring as it is, I get a lot of business off of mailing. I mail to 640 condos around the lake that have views, and I get at least one listing every single mailing. I don't do recipes. I do put for my waterfront, because I do waterfront, all of Seattle waterfront on Lake Washington, that I mail out to quarterly. And I throw in something little, like a little toy for waterfront, but something that's a little, like a rock climbing rock that floats, or something like that.
Ooh,
but I do.
You gotta put that on the gift of the month picture.
No, they're very expensive.
Okay, no $25.
Do you mind if I just show
please,
this? Okay,
please.
so this is my quarterly condo report, and I've been doing it for 23 years. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I do a lot of real estate. I don't think that, I do have a little recipe on here for like a cocktail kind of a punch thing because it was for the holidays. And then I have my words from Laurie, which is just kind of an overview of what's happening in the condo market. And then I have something that talks about the area. So I have that. For Market Flash, this is for my past clients. We call them reoccurring clients because we want them to come back to us. We just don't want them to be past clients. So it's just kind of a little mental thing to say reoccurring instead of past.
Oh, I love that.
This has, I thought you would. So this just has, again, all of the facts and figures of real estate. And then, again, my little comments and then something fun. And then for the waterfront, I have wonderful little fun facts, little infographic kind of stuff, but I do have all of the waterfront that's been sold, and I have a connection with the King County, with the waterfront management people, and they will write a little thing in here for me if I let them know when waterfront has transferred, because then they send us the thing to them saying, you own waterfront, and that kind of thing. Here's how to build a bulkhead, and here's how to do this. So it's really fun. So I know it sounds old-fashioned when everybody was saying, email is the thing. I didn't do it. I kept doing this, and I send 3 mailings out a quarter, and I get at least one listing out of that.
And I love that you brought this because the first thing that you said was, well, this might be boring. It's not boring. It's actually really exciting. And here's the reason I say that, Laurie, because no matter what you do, as long as you strategically find a targeted group, I'm going to get back to that in just a second, and you stay top of mind in contact with them on a regular basis. I talk about hitting an oak tree. You hit an oak tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots, nothing will happen. But if you hit an oak tree 1,000 times in the exact same spot, you're going to take it down. It doesn't matter where you're hitting it. So here's what I want to mention on this. First of all, her targeted audience. I believe if you're a real estate agent, all the successful agents, majority of them, they have a targeted neighborhood view and something they go after. So really think about, what is that neighborhood for you? Remember what Laurie said, embrace who you are right now. I would say you want to embrace the neighborhood you live in, whether or not it's a neighborhood in a lower price point or not, because you're in that part of that community. Would you agree?
I would agree. This farm came up by accident. We initially, when we first started, my husband and I, we liked North Beach Blue Ridge. Well, then we had a title rep after we kept mailing and knocking on doors and everything. We had a title rep analyze how long they stayed there. Well, they stayed there 21 years. That was the average time people stayed in North Beach Blue Ridge. Well, that wasn't going to keep us in So I just started walking my dog, and I started with 36 units in one building. And then I added another building, and then I added another building. I knew most of these people from walking their dog, and I walked my dog, they're walking theirs, and it just kind of came up accidentally. But it's so cool because my office is on Lake Union, my house is on our condo's on Lake Union, my boat's on Lake Union. I got married on Lake Union on a boat, so it just kind of came up accidentally.
It's so perfect.
It's my passion.
You are very strategic.
Yeah.
You pick something, stuck in with it. She did the work behind it to see, okay, 21 years average staying at a property, that's not going to really keep me in business, so let me, figure something else out. The other thing I want to mention with that is she used the word old-fashioned. Old-fashioned and staying old-fashioned is the best marketing thing that you can do, because majority are not doing it. Now, I believe in taking full advantage of technology, which Laurie does. She emails her clients and she does all of that, techie stuff. She does Facebook Live videos, and so she's on the camera all the time. I mean, she's doing everything that you can do to take advantage of technology. But what she's not doing is she's not forgetting the old-fashioned or personal touch, which is mailers, picking up the phone and calling, and how great it is that we're in this technology stage, because majority of your competitors are not doing that.
They aren't. Even the ones that were quit, and now it's hard to get started back up again. But I would just, find your passion, and then it just kind of rolls out. It's pretty easy after
Love that.
Yeah.
So Laurie, a favorite book or somebody that you follow online, and why?
Well, my favorite book personally is Pay It Forward, and it's by Catherine Ryan Hale, I believe, Hale. And there was a movie. You guys probably saw it. My favorite, to pay it forward. That's how I live my life. I always try to do, anticipate what people need and do it for them, and even if they're strangers. And I love that. It makes me happy to live like that. Now, probably one of my favorite books business-wise, I think, again, if I can show this, it'd be okay, is Ninja Selling. This is a group out of Colorado that is incredible, and they do incredible things. If you want to pick up the book, pick it up, look them up. They have seminars, like week-long seminars down in Colorado. They have them all over, but the Colorado people are the one that really made it. So I went there.
Yes.
Love them. Absolutely love them. Yeah, so those are kind of my two favorite
Okay,
books.
thank you.
Yeah.
And outside of your beautiful home here, and your boat and your little sweet puppy Molly.
Ooh, I should have brought a picture of her.
You should have brought a picture of her. She loves Molly so much. And as a dog owner, I totally get that. And Carrie, your significant other.
Yeah.
Outside of that, what else is important to you that has nothing to do with business, Laurie?
Boating is
my
thing.
All right.
It's my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I get on that boat.
And you entertain on your boat?
I do.
Yes.
I do. Not as much as I used to, but I do. Yeah. And
I was out on your boat.
And I just it's hard to explain for people that aren't water people, because if you're skiers or if you're golfers or something like that you're very passionate about, maybe you guys get it. But when I get on that boat, there's nothing else out there. I'm just at one with me.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I really like that question, because really that's what business is all about. All of the hard work and the hours. I mean, you don't have to work as hard as you work. And Marie from your friend and colleague here at the office, and her comment that she made on the Facebook post when we did an introduction here this morning, she doesn't know a woman that works any harder than you do.
Really?
It kind of actually brings tears to my eyes in a little bit, because you don't have to do what you do and as hard as you do it, but the reason you do it is because you're passionate about it. And you bring your business into your life and your life into your business, and so it really doesn't seem like work. And really, that's ultimate what a superstar represents. It represents somebody that's living the life, has the business, is respected to the level that you are within the industry. And I love you as a person, and totally respect what you've been able to do for your business, and all the support that you give to your colleagues as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One thing that I'd like to say is we were talking ahead of time about how agents could take it to the next level.
Yes.
We haven't talked about this.
I forgot that, but this is my first superstar. Thank you for reminding me.
Because I wanted to say, Tina has an 8-week course, One Time Your Business. And if you don't know what One Time Your Business is, you should. Because it is incredible. That course changed my life. And again, she doesn't know I'm going to say any of this, but that course changed my life, because it's so cool to not have to reinvent the wheel every single time you've got a problem. And her 8-week course, I won't take any bang away from that, but her 8-week course is incredible in teaching me how to one-time my business, in that I have a whole set of emails now that I can set up. I have systems galore so that I make sure that I am one-timing my business and not having to reinvent the wheel every time. And I would strongly, strongly suggest that if you haven't taken that yet, you really, really should. That will take your business to another level. No doubt about it.
Laurie.
Sorry.
I forgot to ask the question.
Had to do it.
I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And what an honor it was to have you at your level of expertise and success to join my course. And you actually jumped in on my very, very first
I know, that's
course.
right. I was your first.
You were one of my
That's
first.
right.
I had 5 industry
That's right,
leaders
we
that I
did.
strategically picked to ask them if they would join my course. And thank you so much. And great news, I don't know if I told you because it was just certified. Natalie Danielson, if you're,
I heard a hint.
Yeah, so Natalie Danielson, I want to give a thank you to you. Any mortgage professionals listening or real estate agents listening right now, Victoria, want to tag her on this as well. Natalie Danielson has a school where you get certified. And she has like 80 courses that you can teach, but I have my own course and wanted to get that approved. So 15 hours, clock hours.
Wow.
Certified for 15 clock hours. And it's the first one in Washington State that was approved virtual, for a virtual meeting. They have a distance learning where you can do PDF, but this was the first live virtual. So
no, it's incredible stuff, and it will take you to another level. And I just wanted to make sure I said that because it really prompted me to go out and really make my business so tight. It's so tight, and I can walk in, like when I have a buyer or seller first time interview or something like that. I'm so one time that I can walk in 5 minutes before the meeting. I grab my packet because it's there. I know it's there. In fact, my nephew right now is putting new ones together.
That's what I heard.
He's got school, school
awesome.
day off, yeah. And it is just, it will take you, and it will make you relax too. How you're always running around all tense, and you're waking up in the middle of the night going, oh my God, I didn't do that. The systems and the one-timing just calms you down, and it's incredible.
Thank you, Laurie.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much. So as we wrap up our time here for my first Coffee with a Superstar,
Yay!
look, we've got a coffee and everything. Cheers. It's so funny because Victoria, thank you. She's behind the scenes and here and everything that she does for the team, and she offered to pick up coffee, and I ordered a venti. I don't have coffee very often. It's actually a hot tea, but I ordered venti. I was thinking venti was like this
little one.
but I guess that's called a tall. So next time,
this is a grande.
This is not a coffee.
And then there's a tall.
Next time will be a tall.
Exactly.
But as we're wrapping up our time here, you've mentioned a little bit, not sure what's going to happen, and nobody does. Nobody has a crystal ball, and we can't predict. But what is your best? It's interesting to hear you say, because I haven't heard that yet until right now this morning.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting
It's
some
starting
more
to work up again.
So what do you think for 2019 if you had a crystal ball, or what are you hearing from some of the economists?
I think 2019 is going to be good. I really do. I don't think we're ever going to get back to the level of 200,000 over, waiving financing, waiving inspection, which I never did. And I still made money. And so
That's impressive in itself.
I just couldn't do it. It's just not good for anybody.
Yeah.
To waive everything. It's crazy. That's a lot of money. So, but I think we're starting to see a little bit more. Interest rates have come down a little bit, and I think some of my clients are coming back into the market. And I've got 2 very special clients right now that we're going to get it this year. We are going to get a house this year. And they had to take a little break, and it's hard out there. But I think that 2019 is going to be okay. I think we're going to have more inventory. I don't think we're going to see anything major. I think it's just going to kind of plug around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with everything that you're doing with your staying in contact with your existing clients, now it just sets you up perfectly. Not to have not talked with them for months, but instead you've been top of mind.
Yep. You know what the hardest thing to do? The hardest thing to do is to go back to a client that you haven't talked to in a year.
Yes.
And try to say, hi, how you doing? Hard.
Oh, because
really
you're calling me now
hard.
because you think I can get a house now. Thank
Yes,
you very much for not
exactly.
staying in contact.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's the hardest thing to do. So there's all sorts of things that you can do to stay in contact, whether it's mailing or a phone call or social media or whatever it happens to be. Sometimes I see something that reminds me of a client and I'll just give them a call or I'll drive by their house and say, yeah, hi, I'm driving by your house right now, or just anything to keep in contact with them, because if you lose contact with them, the hardest thing in the world is to try to go back and get their trust and their
so
belief in
true.
you. Yeah.
And I love it. Some people say, well, what do you say when you call? I was just thinking about you. That's exactly what you just said, and coming up with something simple. The worst thing, if you're not doing anything but a generic letter, an email that they know that everybody is getting it. It's not personal. Instead, just like a quick email. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Wanted to check in to see if there's anything that you need.
Yeah, one thing that Ninja really promotes is writing 3 notes a day, 3 handwritten notes a day. And I'm telling you, for younger people, that might be difficult because they didn't learn that I did. So it's hard, but I just write little notes and pop them out, and it really makes them feel special because you've stopped and handwritten a note. And there are other postcards where you can write and it looks like handwriting. You can do that kind of stuff too, but
nothing like the personal. And it's funny that you say for the younger people, because, and Victoria behind the camera here would probably admit as well, Chelsea, a young real estate agent, she's was part of Women's Council of Realtors. She's actually not selling real estate anymore. It was just getting into the industry in these last couple of years was tough. And she had like an amazing offer at Amazon. So, she's the sole breadwinner for her. Her husband goes to college, but I mentioned her because she did this inspirational for Women's Council, and she had all of the young people and old people. Well, I'm not old, but I am 50, so I'm getting older. But everybody in the room, she had all of the women and some of the guys tearing up. Because here's what she said. She says, as a millennial, you think that we don't want this, and this, which is the handwritten card, the pick up the phone and say hello, the pop in, all of these things. You think that we don't, when really we need it more than you do, because we're not getting it. And there's nothing better to anybody. It wasn't that good, no matter what age you are. They want it even more than we do. And so I just got goosebumps.
I know, I did that all the time.
It was so sweet. I was like, wow. So you think people don't want something because that's not what they do, but everybody wants that personal touch. No matter what. And she said they wanted even more than we do because it wasn't a part of them.
And it doesn't have to be major. It can just be something like, I know you're going to Italy, and so I found this book that when I went, and take it and use it. It's got notes in it and stuff. People like to know that they're being thought about.
Exactly.
And that they're important, that they matter.
Yes. Love that.
Yeah.
Well, that is our first coffee with a superstar. We did
it!
That was so much fun. And Laurie, I want to thank you again because you're so busy, and just to take this time, and especially on Martin Luther King Day. And I love you so much, and I appreciate and just respect everything that you do.
And right back at
you. Thank you.
Yeah,
okay. Well, this is Tina Mitchell and Laurie Way. We're signing off for our Coffee with the Superstar.
As the seaplane is taking off.
I hope you saw that.
I hope you can hear it.
You can hear it. So be here every Monday when you're available at 11 o'clock. I'll be at a new office with a new agent, and there's only a handful of superstars, agents that are really doing the production, that are deserving of having a label like that. And I just hoped for you to continue to be here so that you can listen from people like Laurie, which can help you take your business to the next level. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks. Bye.